Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Well, I've just spent uh, I don't know how long, quite a while. I can't find my watch. Here's my phone. I've spent about 30 minutes, 40 minutes looking for an application, and this was prompted by Vasily Remizov, who saw that I was online at Cardiff because I'm doing some testing, and he asked a question, and I immediately thought of this application. Oh, the camera's on as well. I thought of this application, and I haven't used this application for ages. I couldn't remember what it was called. It took me ages to find it. I found it through good old Google eventually. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it up onto Facebook. I'm going to put it up on Xplane dedicated Facebook channel, put the link up there. But I just thought I'd quickly show you because I'd forgotten all about this. It's so good. So what are we looking for? Down here I've got it. This is called Virtual AWOS. I used to know what it was stood for, but I can't remember. So you've got when you open it, you've got standalone AWOS, AWOS master, AWOS client, credits, settings, exit applications. So if we have a look at settings, we've got IVAO, VATSIM, Meta sources, NOAA, or we can use VATSIM direct link. Import airports. No. Right. Save. Okay. And we go to the. I can't remember whether it's the standalone or the master. So we'll just check. So we click on standalone AWOS, and we've got 3 columns, and we type in EGFF. Okay. And it opens up this, and it's downloading data, and straight away what it does, it shows you the meta for Cardiff and the runway in use. Okay, so straight away the winds are variable at 3 knots. It's saying runway 12, but if the winds are variable and it's 3 knots, you could actually use runway 30. QFE is 984, which is correct. 984 QFE is 7 away from the QNH. We can change that, I think, into QNH. Well, the QNH is up there. It's 992, which is correct. That's exactly what it is showing up here. This is just a handy way of sorting out wind directions, light, rain, and you've got your full meta down here as well. Now, if you're using Euroscope, you might not need this, okay, because obviously Euroscope tells you what the meta is, saying the wind is variable at 3 knots, so I can choose the runway at Bristol. You can change airports. So you go here, you go like this, you go to KJFK. Okay. It's downloading data for KJFK, Kennedy International. And there you are. And not only that, I mean, down here, Windows 10 is bringing up the full meta down there. And it's just so clever. It's really good. Runways in use is 04 left and 04 right at Kennedy. So really, really useful app. I will put the link in the stream. I'll also put it in Xplane Dedicated's website. But in the meantime, I noticed that we have got traffic at Bristol. And I think I've sorted out the communication thing. So we'll try this out. Let's see, we'll call it Bristol. Not there. There. Make sure I've got Bristol SMR on. We've got aircraft there. Okay. Has he got a flight plan? He has got a flight plan. Better make sure he contacts me. Chat. Contact. 125.85 when ready. Oh, that went wrong. Alright, just send him a contact me, you should get that. Okay, So I think I've got the sound sorted out. We'll soon find out when he calls. So he's easy. Where's he going? He's going to Easy PE. He's going to Inverness. Assign him a squawk code 3654 and CV calls, and hopefully it'll work. I'm hoping it'll work. I'm pretty sure that I sorted it out. I need to open up Bristol as well. EG underscore app. There we go. So he should see me. Because I've cross-coupled everything. So if he sees me, he sees me. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Right. And just to make it straightforward for me. Put Bristol over there, and then Cardiff radar on here. Whoops. There, like that. Right, and hopefully I'm going to pull up Streamlabs so that to see if you can hear him, because I think I've sorted this out. I think we will see. All right. What I'll do, I'll keep him over here. Oh, you've even got my ugly mug on screen today as well. Chat. Bear with me a second. He was asleep.
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't get to the phone right now. Please leave a short message after the tone, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye.
When you finish recording, please hang up or press the hash key for more options.
Oh, I think that's Darren now on stream. Anyway, Darren, if that's you, I'll check it out. We'll see. I'll be back.
Cardiff arrival easy 928 Golf. We are at Bristol. You wanted us to contact you?
A firm Easy 928 Golf. Cardiff Radar provides top-down service for Bristol and Cardiff. Call ready for your push to start and clearance. Call ready for your clearance.
We are ready actually for push and start, everything done. So we started programming everything without having you on board first. So okay, give us a clearance then, please.
Yeah, Easy 928 Golf. You're clear to Inverness on a Brecon 1 X-ray departure. Initial altitude is 6,000 feet and squawk 3654.
So we are clear to Inverness, Brecon 1 X-ray departure, initial altitude 6,000 feet, and we are squawking 3654 for Easy 928 Golf.
Easy 928 Golf, readback is correct. As you say, you're ready for push and start, so push back into the cul-de-sac and face east.
Push back and startup approved, facing east, Easy 928 Golf.
Okay, Darren, can you let me know if you can hear VATSIM, if you can hear the pilot talking as well as me? I mean, you'll hear me because I'll be coming through the mic, but I need to know whether you can hear the pilot. The text is super large here, so I need to chat box. think I did something yesterday. You can hear everything. Brilliant. That's excellent. That's excellent. You probably, Captain Kitten, you probably can hear me just talking through the mic, so you won't hear me through audio for VATSIM, but hopefully you hear the pilot through audio for VATSIM. FlyX, hey. Don't forget, guys, if you haven't been to this channel before, click on follow, give me a subscribe or whatever. I don't need money. Well, I do need money, but I'm not asking for money. Yeah, I can tell you how I did it. It depends what you use, Darren. Do you use Streamlabs OBS? Which is what I use, because I find Streamlabs OBS is just the easiest. I've used loads in the past. I used XSplit Broadcast. I've used OBS, the free one original. But I found that Streamlabs, the new one, is excellent, and also you can stream in 1080p as well, free. You don't have to pay for it. Yeah, so you use Streamlabs. Okay, let me get rid of this pilot, and I'll explain exactly how you do it. Oh, Magnus, hi there. Nice to see you. Hope everything's okay. Virtual AWOS. Did you see this, by the way? I don't know whether you saw this. Let me show you again. Virtual AWOS. I used to use this years ago, and I forgot all about it. And then Vasily Rezimov was observing and asked me if I knew of an application that could help him for what he wanted. And then I brought up this. Virtual AWOS. It's absolutely superb. Let me just put EGD in. It's downloading data. Yeah, there we go. And it's just a QNH thing. It's saying runway 09, but it's actually 27 because of the wind direction, yeah? So that's the wind direction there. So it's 7 knots. So the wind is blowing that way where the red arrow is. So it would be runway 27, not 09, because if you did that on 09, it would be a tailwind component. All right. This is a great application if you just want to, it tells you everything. It's this. You get your QNH up here, your METAR up here from Euroscope. But if you're a pilot and you want to figure stuff out, then this is really good. And I will put the link in the bottom of the channel when I get time, and I'll put it on Xplane Dedicated's Facebook page. But it took me ages to find this again on Google. It had dropped way down the Google pages. Virtual AWOS. It's been out years, but it's superb. And for some reason today, the chat, well, certainly yours, Magnus, your chat is coming up on the Streamlabs. What does TCU mean? Towering cumulus nimbus. Is what that means. There are meta decoders. If you just have a look on, Google and just put in meta decoder, you will find loads of them. They're really handy things. And they will decode the whole meta for you, put it in plain English. Okay. And in fact, when I was doing mentoring, when I used to mentor students for tower controlling, I would pass them all of that information. A lot of it I've kind of forgotten a little bit. Anyway, we can get all that data again. Let's pull up. I just need to pull up YouTube, make sure that we're not broadcasting with an echo. Broadcast. Yeah, I am. There you go. Got rid of that. Right, Darren, you're on Streamlabs and Twitch. Have you ever heard of Restream? With Restream, you can stream to loads of different places at the same time. So I'm streaming now to Twitch and to YouTube at the same time. Once you've set up Restream, it's automatic. It's all automatic. It's been a while since I've used the camera, and I'll tell you why. I I was having not a weight problem. I was just getting older, and as you get older, your weight creeps up, and it's very hard to get rid of. You can do drastic things, like you can have operations like Matt Davis did, where you have gastric bands fitted and your part of your stomach cut away. Yeah, don't use that video banana thing. It drove me crazy last night. What I found is a far easier way of doing it, and I will explain it all as soon as we get rid of this pilot. Anyway, so like I was saying, you can have operations, you can have half your stomach cut away, you can have gastric bands fitted and what have you.
But Easy 928 Golf is ready for taxi.
Easy 928 Golf, taxi to holding point Alpha X-ray runway 27. QNH is 902 hectopascals.
Taxiing to holding point Alpha X-ray QNH 992 for Easy 928 Golf.
I also had been to the doctor, and the doctor told me that I was approaching becoming diabetic. And when I said, how can I fix that? And he said, diet, change your diet, lose weight. So that's what I've been doing, and I have lost 2 stone, 1 pound in 11 weeks through dieting. So I thought I'd put the camera on so you could see my wonderful, youthful visage. So that's why I haven't been on camera. I wasn't liking it. Right, yeah, Restream. I'll get you the link. You can probably get it anyway. Hang on. Let's just do this here. Oh, my phone. Bear with. Hello. Oh, hi, John. Can I ring you back in 5 minutes? All right, I'll ring you back in 5 minutes. Bye. Right. Yeah, there's the Restream link. Which is pretty cool. You're going to grab a cuppa, you'll be back in 3 minutes. Good-o. I'm going to have to sort out the... I have to sort that out, chat box. I've made the thing too big. I can't remember how you do it. That's probably a bit better. Easy 928 Gulf, surface wind is 230 degrees at 9 knots, runway 27, clear takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 27, Easy 928 Golf.
So now we transfer to radar. Come to the radar screen. You see, as soon as he takes off, his tag will light up, and I'll be able to take control of him. There we go. There's his tag. So now I can assume him. I'll just pull that down here so you can see it better. Now this guy over here, of course, EGBP. I'm not sure where he's going. He's going to Paleton Radio Measuring Station. Obviously, he's a VFR. He's at 1,200 feet. Obviously, because he's nothing to do with me. I haven't assumed him or anything. His tag stays white, and so does his representation. I can, as I put my mouse over the tag, it expands, so I can see more information about him. But he's not my aircraft, so I'm not really bothered about him. Now, EZ928 Golf should report his passing altitude. I guess I think it's 3,000 feet at Bristol. I'm not quite sure. Darren Foe is back. Oh, by the way, Darren, that was me ringing your mobile a little while ago, and then I saw you was online. I thought I would just check if you was awake. EZ928 Golf, report your passing altitude.
EZ928 Golf, passing 3,200.
EZ928 Golf, continue climb 6,000 feet.
Climb 6,000 feet, EZ928 Golf.
Right, if I want to see this guy's route, just to show you, I can click on a certain parts of his tag there, and it shows me his route. If I click again, it shows me his predicted altitude and flight level along that route as well. Yeah, it's pretty neat indeed. What else can you do? I can adjust things. I can change his altitude on here. I can change his heading, and if I do any of this, if I click on any of this, it will produce a text at the bottom, and if I hit return, it'll send that text to him. Yeah, I can open up his flight plan just to make sure everything's alright. He's squawking. He's IFR, yeah, so that's good. Everything's cool. EZ928 Golf, continue climb flight level 150. So
climb flight level 150, EZ928 Golf.
I've changed his tag there, so another controller, if there was another controller online, London Control, he would see the tag and he'd be able to see that he's climbing to that flight level, regardless of whether I pass him over or not. He's an A320, so he's medium. There's lots of information on here that I don't really need, and I keep saying I will edit the tag, and I keep forgetting to do so. Well, not forgetting to do so, I could look at the tag editor here, yeah, and change things over if I wanted to. And there's different ways of doing this as well. If I can turn back time, there's one dialog box, and it shows me what tag family I'm using, and I can never find it. That's not it. That's not it. Where is it? That's not it. It's in general settings. No, it's not in general settings. Display settings. Here we go. So this is everything to do with my display, and I can change lots of things around about the display. But it shows me what tag family I'm using. I'm using the Matthias built-in tag family, and at the moment the simulation mode is radar, because that's what I'm on. But I could do ground with S mode, ground without radar, and easy ground, yeah. Or I could change to approach, Okay, so this is the tag family is approach, which is what I'm on, and that changes. Yeah, so I've applied that. Let's just close that, and you can see that the tag has changed dramatically now. So all I've got is this call sign, uh, cleared altitude, ground speed. I can change its heading. Yep. So that is really quite neat. I like that. Um, display settings. There are a couple of other ones here. There's traffic monitor, which is different again. Yeah, it's just his call sign, and he's climbing to the assigned level, which was 150. You know, that is even simpler again. It gets rid of all that clutter. What's the alternative? I can't remember. That's another one, slightly different again. Stick with Matthias. So I like Matthias, but also because it tells you the next frequency that someone's got to go to. But I can edit this tag. I can change things in here if I want to. Okay, so it's showing me that he's due to go to Unicom. He hasn't reached Brecon yet. He's still in my controlled airspace, which is this dark blue area. So I can keep him, you know, all the way to the end of the control area if I so wish. But we'll get rid of him, I think. Sounds awful, that. Get rid of him. I will hand him off to Unicom. If there's any questions, if you've got any questions, stick them in. I will get to see them. Darren for I look beautiful. Thank you, Darren. Yep, setting up tags and symbology can be brain numbing. Sometimes it's best just to stick with what's coming up as long as you can manage it. When there's a lot of aircraft around, these big tags can be a bit cumbersome, but I can reduce that down. I can change that down if I want to. I need to turn off my Windows sounds. There's actually Windows 10 does an awful lot of stuff that I don't like. I get these notifications coming up. I don't like those, especially when I'm, you know, online or streaming. Carl Slaymaker, you've never had the confidence to try and control. I love flying on VATSIM. Controlling is a different experience altogether, and you're dealing with 3D space. Easy 928 Golf, no further ATC, monitor Unicom 122.8. Enjoy your flight. Cheerio.
122.8 for Easy 928 Golf. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
And there we are. I've reduced the tag. I've released him, so he's no longer my concern. And when he gets to a certain flight level, it'll go to a dot because I've changed the way that things are represented. So over here, can you see my cursor? Yeah. Over here, there's a dot, and that is an aircraft flying through, and he is above my flight level. I've set my flight level at flight level 250. So anything above 250, I won't see. I'll just see a dot flying through, because I don't need to know if they're at flight level 250. They're not my concern. Carl, in terms of controlling, I mean, it's not just a question of jumping on and controlling. You've got to go through mentoring. All the different levels. There's ground, S1, S3, C1 and C3. You know, I mean, there's all the different levels, and you have to be mentored through each level and have a mentor. And the fact of having a mentor, yeah, actually helps you gain confidence in what it is that you're doing. Yeah. I love controlling. I love flying. I've got over 5,000 hours of controlling on VATSIM from over the years. I haven't controlled for the last few years, and I'll tell you for why. The reason being was that several years ago now, I can't remember exactly how many, but probably about 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, Vatsim.net, they wanted to open up West Asia being India, Pakistan, that area, and get back to work. See you soon. Yeah. Vatsim.net, they wanted to open up West Asia, Pakistan, India. They'd tried in the past, and there's always been problems down in that area. Because, and I'll be brutally honest, some of the political aspects of the real world kind of crossed over into the Vatsim world, and they always had problems. Anyway, a number of us, we went to West Asia under the Open Skies policy. Now, the Open Skies policy on Vatsim was simply that you could go and control in an area at your rating to help break an area open. So me and a few others did that. Myself, Matt Booker, Andy Kai, Tom, and Dan Easterbrook. We went to West Asia under Open Skies, which meant that we were still members in the UK. It's just that we were trying to break open West Asia as well. And then we were asked if we would actually open up West Asia as a division. And so a couple of people became staff members. I became DCRM for the West Asia region, Divisional Conflict Resolution Manager, and so forth and so on. And so we opened up the division officially, and we transferred from the UK to West Asia, and that was our first mistake. But that was okay. So what we did, we opened up the division, we got controllers, we promoted, and we what's the word? We promoted the division, and we got people in. We got controllers. We trained up controllers from the West Asia region, and then we found a couple of guys who were brilliant. They were absolutely fantastic, and they really grabbed hold of the region, and they started to take over and manage the region. And they were holding events all throughout India and Pakistan, and I mean they would travel hundreds of miles, and these guys were obviously pretty switched on. They were computer literate, like many of us, all that we all are. But not only that, not only were they computer literate, there were some of them were web design savvy. There were some of them network savvy. I mean, really great bunch of guys, and we were happy at that point to slowly withdraw and recommend other people for staff positions, which they had to apply for in the normal way. And then it got to the point where we said, right, West Asia is now yours. We are going back to the UK. Yeah. And that's when our problem started. And we couldn't get back into the UK. We were not allowed. Well, we were allowed, but we were told we had to do all sorts of things to get back our validation. That we would have to, because I'm a C3 rated controller, and I did my C3 rating in Copenhagen, not in West Asia. Because we knew that if we did it down there, people would say, "Oh, you're just giving yourself a C3 rating." So I did my C3 in Copenhagen, and Matt did his C1 and what have you in Europe somewhere, and so that our validations would be credible. But when we tried to come back to the UK division said, "No, if you want to control in the UK, you're going to have to learn all the London airports and do London West and control London West." And I said, "I don't want to control London West. All I want to control is Cardiff radar. And I have a rating, and there's a global rating policy. You can't stop me." But they did. They told us we had to go through the whole process again of training and validation and competency checks and exams, and we refused point blank. Said no, we wasn't doing it. I was then transferred to the United States because the US were quite happy to welcome me with open arms. So I was transferred to the USA, and I was going to control at ZLA, I think, somewhere like that. And I did do a bit of training over there, and not much, because they said with your rating and hours. You don't need to. I became a member of IVAO because I wanted to control in the UK, and IVAO is a completely different setup divisionally, and basically they just accepted all of my ratings and said, yes, open up Cardiff, do what you want. And I did that for a little while, but I didn't particularly like IVAO. And then 2 years ago, not this year, but last year at RAF Cosford, I had a word with Gunnar Lindahl, which is VATGov 1, and we tried to sort that out. We tried to sort out the fact that I could control in the UK, and nothing came of that for some reason. And then this year at Cosford, we had another conversation, and by the end of the weekend, myself, Matt, Tom, and Dan, I believe, were back in the UK and able to control where we want. It was a pain in the backside, but it's great fun. I love controlling. I prefer controlling and streaming more than I fly and stream. I still enjoy my flying, and I fly on VATSIM, but I don't like streaming my flights on VATSIM. I don't enjoy it, but I enjoy controlling on VATSIM. I don't know why. It's crazy, isn't it? Controlling on stream. Right. I love controlling as well as flying. The only problem with VATSIM UK and controlling is they are so busy, and waiting around for your next step of training is extremely slow, which is true. When I was doing my training, you could theoretically go from ground all the way up to radar, and technically you could do it within 6 months because there were lots of mentors and there was lots of time, but now it's just so busy. There's like 15,000 plus, there's more than 15,000 plus active members of VATSIM UK, and it's just so busy, and there's not enough mentors. S1 to S2, they're saying it could be 9 months. It could be, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that we should be able to cut that down a bit. S1 to S2, so S2 is tower, isn't it? S1 is ground. So I don't even think they need ground anymore. It's ridiculous. People should just go straight to tower and not bother with ground, because if you're on tower, you're learning ground anyway. Yeah, that's my view. That's my personal view. Let me edit this video. I just realised it says Navigraph. We'll just put XPD like that. Save. Okay. Right, Darren, let's have a look at how did I sort this audio out. Yeah, are you ready? Are you ready, Darren? It's really quite simple, especially using Streamlabs. So forget about Banana, whatever it's called, Voice Meter Banana. Let me pull this across. You've downloaded and signed up. Downloaded and signed up to what? Oh, Restream. All right, forget about Restream a minute. Forget about Restream. Right, I hope you can see this, Darren. Forget about the top bit. We're not interested in the top bit where it goes into infinity and beyond. Look at the bottom bit down here. Okay? Look at the bottom bit. Now you'll see here, under sources, I've got audio for VATSIM, although I've spelt it wrong. Okay? Doesn't matter. Now the way you do this, oh God, AWOS, I'll have to turn that off. The way to do this is that you add a source, alright? Add a new source to your scene. Now the source I added, was it a media source? Or was it a window capture source? I think it was a window capture source. Hang on. Let's have a look at the properties. Yeah, it was. Oh, damn, I've forgotten. It would be an audio capture source. Yeah, so go up here and you click on audio output capture. All right? Audio output capture. And it captures your desktop audio for the purpose of playing sounds such as music or speech. Okay? Add source. Add existing source. No. I've got two now. Let me get rid of one. Delete. Remove that one. Okay. All right. 1, 2. Audio for VATSIM. And then, so you add it, and then you find it over here in your mixer. Okay? And you just make sure that you've got it hooked up. Undo, remove audio. Oh God, they're not removing. Okay, remove that. And remove that. Okay, right, so I've removed both of them. So all you've got now is just my microphone and my speakers. Alright, so we go here, add a new source, and it's audio output capture, add source, rename it, audio for VATSIM, yeah, add source, and then you look for the device, yeah, and the device is my USB speakers. Done. Okay, and you see it down here now, audio for VATSIM. Where's that? Put that back over here, and that's it. It's as simple as that. I mean, you wouldn't think so, but it is. And you just make sure, oops, scroll down, you just make sure that audio for VATSIM is turned up. Now, unfortunately, the only way you can test this, right, is if there's somebody around. But I found a way of testing it. So the way that I found of testing it was to go to my ATIS here. I'm going to put that over there, and then down. Where have you gone? Is that it? Okay, that's not it. There we are. And then, so I put this over here. I'll do it like this. All right. I put that over there. And then what I did was I thought, listen to playback. And I start multiple playback.
Cardiff information. Lima, time 0750. Automatic.
And there you are, you see it working. So I know that the audio for VATSIM is working. So that's the way you do it. So disconnect that, turn that off. Right, turn that off. And that is how I did it. A little bit. It's not complicated. It just took me a little time to get my head around it, and somebody else had said on Facebook page that's how you do it. So that's how I did it. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. See you, Carl. Have a good day. What time is it? 9:36. Is that all? I seem to have done so much. Right, I'm going to go off as well. But did you see that, Darren? Did you figure that out? I'm pretty sure you did. But that banana thing, you see, and then also over here, my in your app volume device preferences, yeah, You can see I've got audio for VATSIM client there. I've got that turned up. Euroscope. Everything. Brilliant. Whew. When you say getting the ATIS to work, in what sense? You've got to make sure that when you set up here. Where's mine? Right. There, right, in ATIS, make sure that it's set out like this. Yeah, your frequency, and that your channel is written down there as well. You shouldn't really have that much of a problem. It's right. What you need to do, if you have a problem with your ATIS, like I did this morning, it said something about cumulonimbus, and so you can edit your ATIS here. You see the text here. Now, for some reason, my ATIS, when I first turn it on, it says that the transition flight level is 7,000 feet. It isn't 7,000, it's 6,000. So basically, I just edited it. I took the 7 out and I put the 6 in. It also said something about cumulonimbus, and so it wasn't reading the ATIS. It wouldn't play. So I just took out that part that said cumulus nimbus. But you have to make sure that when you edit it, you take out the correct bit. So like where it said cumulus nimbus, it was surrounded by square brackets. So like temperature is there, surrounded by square brackets. If you take that out, if I take temperature out of there, I would have to take out the square brackets as well. So just like that. Whoops. Like that. Yeah. So if I took out temperature, that would then play 4,800 feet plus 7. You know, because I've taken the temperature element out of there. So you can always get around it by editing. And originally we had to type our ATISs in before you could have the record ones. You had to type it in, or even record it. You can record one. You can record an ATIS, so you actually use your own voice and record it, which is pretty cool. But you then again, you have to know what the ATIS is to record it. Yes, get that tower mentoring sorted. I'm going to have a word today. I'm going to write to the director. I don't know who it is. Right. Okay, everybody. I'm going to go. I want a cup of coffee, and I'm so pleased that I sorted out the audio for VATSIM. So I'll see you all maybe later today. Who knows? So anyway, take care. Cheerio. See you, Darren.